So, you know, the dungeons in Ashlands are called putrid holes. And I'm scared. There's one literally right next to where you set up shop. Yeah, like literally right next to it. I went back to my base, took the stuff that I had collected. I went into the putrid hole, not knowing exactly what it was or what I'd be getting myself into, and was like, "Oh, this is big danger." Because I went in, I broke a few bones on the ground, decorative bones on the ground, and broke a few things, and then something climbed out of the ground, and I left. Yeah. Yeah, something climbed up out of the ground, and so I left. By the way, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm going to have to spend 12 years searching through all of the meadows because, like, I've got 4 beehives. I haven't found any more, and I've been pretty good at collecting the honey. Not great, but pretty good. I had like 16 stacks of honey or something that I had saved up. And then I was just like, oh my God, Ashlands is so terrifying. I don't have nearly enough buff potions or like ready to go consumables for dealing with this place. So then I go to craft stuff and I'm like, oh fuck, everything wants honey. Like all of it wants honey. So that was a bit surprise situation. I mean, he must not. He must just not realize how powerful they are. He just might also not be interested in like the meta aspect of doing things. Yeah, and they have an AoE shot. Oh, there's fire blobs out here too. Yeah, everything's fun until it's not. Like, there was 5 black cores in one, but there was no shield cores in them. It'll just stay in the tombstone, but you could get it back if you don't have to worry about him having to figure it out. Yeah, is the stream software, the stuff for it, like, it's weird. OBS is not a professional software. It is kind. Yeah, so like it's the go-to, right? But it's still something that is like a small group put it together and continues to curate it, but it still has, you know, its own list of issues. And then people write plugins to get a lot of, like, basically OBS relies on other people writing plugins. How dare they? So OBS is completely free. It relies very much so on the community to create plugins to do things, because there's just so many things that obviously OBS could never keep up with all of the things, because like some people do stuff where they want to send data like a video feed across the network to their OBS screen. So somebody figures out like, okay, OBS doesn't know that I want this, so somebody gets someone to write a plugin. So they write a plugin that functions as like a digital receiver for a video feed. So this way, instead of people having to use a capture card to capture their game data, they can just send it over the network. There's people that use like 12 cameras. Oh, what the? What? That? I killed a warrior and a Derviger rogue popped out after it died. Yeah, I don't know that he was inside him or if it was more like the act of killing the warrior caused the rogue to pop up and be like, oh, hey, somebody else to fight with me. I guess I'll help the fight. Like if it sort of summoned him. So, OBS being the way that it is, with the way that all of the different groups have different things going, the different OBSs, like there's all sorts of stuff going on. There's a ward over here. This looks like a Derviger camp, maybe. Yeah, so with all those things, different groups of people write different plugins. Some people write their plugins with the intent of making money off of it, so they like paywall their plugins. A lot of people write their plugins just to be like, hey, I wrote this, it helped me, here it is for anybody else. So like, there's tons of stuff out there. But there's also like a lot of old stuff that doesn't work anymore. And there's a lot of like misleading stuff where somebody said something, you know, about how this is supposed to work, but it doesn't actually do what it says it does. Unstable lava rock. I feel like I shouldn't hit that. I'm going to back up and shoot it with my arrow. It blew up. It was not a big explosion. Oh my god. I don't know what this is. There's a Morgan. There's a Morgan. You know what a Morgan is? A bone spider? Well, this is what was inside the dungeon that I walked away from. No, this was not in the lava box thing. The unstable lava rock. Ho, 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 ho. Do you want Grostine to build with? Yes, absolutely. But turns out, walk a Morgan over to the on any of these structures. Oh my god, these come out at night. That's what's happening. These come out at night. Walk a Morgan over and they do a fucking roll into a ball and attack thing, and I don't think I have enough bag space to pick up all of the Grostine that's here. And he just keeps rolling into stuff because he seems a little on the stupid side. So, like, I guess this would be like the new way of having a troll harvest for you. Oh! He 2-hit me from over 200 health. So, the very specific weird thing that I'm trying to do consistently with OBS, I'm going to sleep us into night. Are you in a safe spot for me to do that? Okay. Yeah. So there's all of the different platforms are starting to allow vertical streaming, because when people are like scrolling YouTube Shorts or Facebook or Instagram, it's all in a vertical feed style, right? Where you're holding your phone vertically and you're flipping up through the content. So all of the platforms are starting to go that route. YouTube allows it straight up right now. You can go vertical feed. So that's why you were saying before, like, why do I see your stream twice? And it's because they allow a vertical feed for anybody on the platform. Go get them. The issue is that there's like a very specific way to be able to stream to both things simultaneously. And it's really weird. Apparently, the way to have done it for the last 2 years or whatever since it got introduced, the way to have done it is to go to YouTube's, like, I'm about to go live page, and instead of clicking the go live, you click on the schedule live event. And what you do is you go, you have like you have a stream key that's like, you know, a unique key that's attached to your account. That is how it's how YouTube knows who you are in regards to, you know, where your data is coming from and where it's supposed to go. Because otherwise YouTube wouldn't know. You know, because YouTube gets 1,000 streams coming in every second or whatever. So you use a stream key as the identifier for who you are and where your content's supposed to go to. Makes sense. All that works perfectly fine. The issue that I was running into is that there's 2 different services that I found, or plugins that I found, that let you stream vertical. One of them is called Atom Vertical. I died again. And one of them is called Stream Elements, and it includes a vertical canvas. Atom by itself has some stuff for outputs, but then you have to go get a different plugin that lets you say these are the platforms I want to output to. Weirdness, I know. So you have to get plugins for those, because OBS by default only supports connecting to one service per copy of OBS that's open. Otherwise, like in the past, if you wanted to send it to multiple platforms, you would have to open multiple versions of OBS and set them all to their own individual things and then click live individually. So getting a plugin that lets you send it to all of them is great, because then you can send one feed to all of them and you don't have to re-encode any of the content. And that is a pretty big saver on performance on the system. So that's cool. So the one, Stream Elements, it worked flawlessly. It worked like flawlessly. I installed the plugin. Oh shit. You're getting ransacked, huh? I'm running to my body. Yeah, I'm running into my body. So, Stream Elements has a lot of different things. Yep. Okay, I got rid of a couple archers. So Stream Elements, it gives you a vertical canvas, so that you can do a vertical output to whatever service. And it worked basically flawlessly when I initially set it up. I got soft tissue here somehow. Oh, that would be fair. So, it worked flawlessly. I was able to like super easily connect my YouTube account, my Twitch account, like all of my services got connected perfectly fine. And then when I went to go live, it was practically automatic that it gave me the option to just send to both YouTube and YouTube vertical. And I was like, cool, like it's up and running. That's great. Here's the issue. When I went to go adjust settings in the canvas, like changing like the encoding settings, right? Changing the bit rate that the video feed is going out. Something as simple as that. It crashed OBS. And then I've messed with it a bunch since then. It constantly crashes OBS anytime I try and adjust anything in the video feed for that vertical canvas. There's something bugged specifically in Stream Elements, specifically with the vertical canvas for some reason. I don't know why, but for some reason. So it's like, okay, I guess that's a thing. So either work around it or try and find some other way to manage, I guess. So I tried working around it, and like I couldn't for the life of me get it to do what I wanted it to do with editing stuff or tweaking stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try the Atom vertical canvas. So I went and tried it. That'd have been fine, except it had its own series of issues. The primary thing is that I could not get a vertical feed to output at the same time to YouTube as a horizontal feed. Like one would supersede the other. YouTube didn't know how to handle it. So I looked at all this stuff up, and I find that I guess like historically at some point a long time ago, or maybe even people still do it now, they made it to where the design of the function, like the way that they designed it, is that you have to go into the YouTube Live scheduler. Like this, you have to open YouTube Live, like youtube.com live, like the admin panel for the person going live, right? And you go to the stream section and you say schedule stream, and you have to pick your stream key for your vertical one and schedule a stream. And then you have to go generate another stream that you're scheduling for your horizontal canvas. So you would have to literally, every time you want to go live, go to YouTube Live, generate these scheduled events and schedule them so that YouTube knows where the data is supposed to go, because for some reason, all of these other ones don't know how to do it. I figured out last night, Stream Elements, the reason that it works, the reason that it's capable of sending out a vertical feed and horizontal feed at the same time, like flawlessly, is because it goes into your control panel and it generates two scheduled events in your control panel prior to when you hit the go live button. So when you hit go live, so like instead of manually scheduling them myself, that software just does it. But the other software that has a better canvas that I can like tweak the settings on the canvas more, it doesn't have that option. It doesn't generate the scheduled event. It just tries to send the data, which is why, as far as YouTube was concerned, it didn't know how to handle it. YouTube would just get confused. It's so weird, and it's dumb that it's even that way. Like, it should. I'm surprised that it's not built-in standard to OBS to allow multiple feeds straight from OBS on its own. Like, I'm surprised that it requires a plugin at this point. I would assume it means that it's close. You got bones. There's an archer around the backside shooting. He's trying to shoot a crafting table. I'm going to kill him. I don't know. Oh, no, we don't want to sleep right now. Because I don't know what he does at the base, but he is constantly doing something, because he'll be on like connected a big portion of the day and actively just doing something at the base. I don't know if he's got skills that he's just like AFK farming, like when he was doing that sneak farming thing. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but he's definitely doing something, because I'll get on and start like building or something, and he'll sleep for me, because he doesn't know that he's doing it for me, but I'm receiving the benefit of him going to sleep. Cool. I only got back over here because you were getting on. I wasn't intending on exploring Ashlands. I was going to go build. Yeah, I don't know. This place is terrifying. I've picked up some prostite powder and sulfur, but I don't recall seeing any recipes come up, so I'm not sure that I learned any recipes off of them directly, or at least not yet. Yeah, so long run, OBS is weird. I've got it. I mean, so there is also other groups that have come in and basically photocopied OBS and are pushing out paid versions that do have more features to them, but like everyone knows that they stole OBS's software to produce what they're doing. So it's also that thing of like, a lot of people are like, fuck those guys because they're thieves and they're, generating money off of other people's work. Well, I think that there's a big difference though between like, ooh, this is cool, streaming software. Let me build something myself that looks like it, and what they did, which is basically, I mean, I don't know that they took the code and just, literally made a copy of it and then tweaked it a little bit, or if they were like, we're going to build something from scratch so that it's technically ours, but it's going to look identical to OBS and function identically to OBS so that everybody on OBS can easily switch over to our stuff. Yeah, so it's weird. It's a lot of stuff. And then also, like, now I'm looking at this, like, I want to be able to record in high quality to be able to send that stuff to YouTube when I do edit and put together videos and stuff. And to be able to do that, you have to be able to encode, and it can take a lot of power from the computer to be able to encode and stream, especially if I'm like recording multiple things while streaming. It can make it complicated and difficult. So it's just a matter of like getting all of that shit figured out and figuring out how I want to do it and what's worth, investing in to do. Oh, for sure. Yeah, so far so good. It's been fun. I've enjoyed making the videos and sharing. I've been posting basically a video of everything I've done to YouTube as I go along with, streaming a lot of what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Obviously, there's a bunch of stuff that, I am making adjustments for as I go along, but yeah, there's the technical aspect of a lot of it that takes time to get used to, and then also, have to figure out how I want to handle it while also being frugal and trying not to invest too much in stuff. But it's also like I'm enjoying it as a hobby, and so like there's nothing wrong with investing in a hobby, but also I wouldn't be against if this turned into something where I could, make an income off of. That'd be cool. It'd be super cool. But like I'm not banking on that. So then it's finding the balance. All right, well, you have fun working. Well, WoW is just the team that we joined. We're in the waiting period, waiting for Siege of Orgrimmar to come back, because the team Siege comes out in 1 month. So the first week of June is what they announced the release date for. Yeah, I think that they spread their teams too thin between Anniversary and all of the content in Anniversary and trying to get it all out in a certain time frame. So I think that they spread themselves too thin is what is the crux of what happened. And then we're getting there eventually, but also at the same time they've got a number of people trying to figure out like what's next. Are people in MOP going to go to the next expansion, or should they give up on it after this point because they've watched the numbers dwindle in MOP so aggressively? So, like, I get it, but also, who knows? Yeah. Oh. I forgot I changed that hotkey for recording. Boink. Boink. My CPU usage is so low. I wonder. Oh man, see that makes me want to be a complete fucking nerd about it. All right, have fun working. Yeah, that's weird. The only thing I could think is that the crates got some of the crates got destroyed and items dropped to the bottom of the water, and then by now the time might have lapsed for the despawn timer. All right, talk to you later. Okay, so let me try this. I'm going to try stop recording. Let me check my game source record. Let me try this encoder and see what we're at. That's hardware and VNC AV1. Let's try CPU bound. X264. 20,000 CPU preset. Very fast. Let's try just faster. Okay, and then camera, filter, source. Also do X264, 6,000 bit rate is probably fine. Very fast is probably very fine. Okay, so let's try recording. See what the CPU is pushing. Okay, let's drop off all of the stuff that I don't need. Some stone, some wood, some resin, some berries and shit. See, I'm feeling a little chunky here. I wonder if that's because of the stream recording or stream bitrate is using the GPU.